Bobby Hebert, the Cajun Cannon, founding father of the Who Dat Nation. 18-10. He's showing off on Facebook his new bootleg shirt. Try me one more time, and it's the picture of C.D. Deuce folding his arms, looking up at Tom Brady after they shut out the Buccaneers a few weeks back.
Folding his arms, smiling.
Yeah.
And C.D. Deuce is the man. He's a dog. Listen, you want him on your side. You might hate him if he's not on your team, but if he's on your team, what? You embrace him. He's just a playmaker. He loves football. Chris, I don't know if anyone else loves more football than Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He'll tell you that in the heat of the summer. Mm-hmm. He'll tell you that in the dead of winter. You could be a 100-point underdog, whatever. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Christian, he has to get into coaching or something. But what I'm saying is I think football, he would say his hobby is football. What do you do for a living? I play football. What is your hobby? I play football.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if he does anything else. He might play video games or whatever. But, no, he is outstanding. All I know is when he was inactive on defense and how Dennis Allen has to adjust to the defense when he's not on the field is a big difference what we doing defensively. When he's out there, he has a lot of freedom, and Dennis Allen trusts him. Malcolm Jenkins trusts him. DeMario Davis. You look, okay, who would be the team captains, that being DeMario Davis and Malcolm Jenkins on the back end? The positions, that different calls that they put on C.D. Deuce. No, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he's a flat-out stud. I'm just glad he's on our side because he gets in the opponent's head. But not only is he talking, he's walking the talk. You can talk smack, but you got to back it up. When you back it up, then the opponent just got to walk away. What were you going to say? Come on.
18-10, the Saints beat the Carolina Panthers. 7 sacks, 3.5 from Cam Jordan. 2 turnovers, about as textbook and dominant as you can get on defense.
No, as dominant. Christian, anytime you give up 10 points, shame on your team if you don't win. If we'd have gave up 18 points and lost, I'd have been shame on the offense. You give up in the teens this day and age or 10 points, you should never lose. And that stands for reason. Under Sean Payton, Sean knows this. We allow 20 or fewer points. We played 100 games when we've allowed 20 or fewer points under Sean Payton. We've won 92% of the time. So I can figure it out, 92-8. So we've won 92% of the time. We played exactly 100 games when our defense has allowed 20 or fewer points, and we've won 92 and we've lost 8. Now, if you look commit 0 turnovers, I say, okay, Mike, to tell you, we're all talking about, you cannot give the Panthers a short field. You got to protect the football. Well, we didn't turn it over. We end up being +2 for the game. We +4 of the season. Carolina came into the game. They were -9. Now they're -11 for the season. You wonder why they're not winning? They've now lost 11 out of their last 13. That simple number, you can see Devin Flow. I was kind of disappointed in their play, or they were probably, in DJ Moore. He seemed like he was disinterested because he's a 1,000-yard receiver, and he didn't do much of nothing today.
3 catches for 29 yards.
Yeah, and 8 targets. He had, I want to say for sure, 1 drop, if not true. 2 of he Christian, like he didn't want to even be there. Come on, and you
treated one pass almost like a volleyball spike.
No, like he spiked it. I mean, you talk about one of the best receivers in the NFL. No, that like he didn't want to be there. But Christian, if you look at it again, allowing 20 or fewer points, 92-8, allowing or committing, I should say, 0 turnovers. We're now 55-6. 55 wins. Not even if our defense doesn't even take it away. Just if we don't turn over the ball, we're 55-6. Now, this does not surprise me, or I should say I'm disheartened by this because this is something I got to get my notes on this one. But anyway, it's on 3rd down. We have been horrendous 3rd down offensively. We were horrendous again today. We were 5 of 13, 38%. I want to say for the season we're like 32, 33%. And I never thought I'd see that in a Sean Payton offense because they were so efficient with Drew Brees, obviously that making a difference. Now, this was not necessarily good. Well, we had -4 yards rushing in the first half. We ended up, Christian, getting 73 yards. So if we'd have did that, or half of that in the first half, then you'd have been all right. But we ended up with 28 rushing attempts, 73 yards, 2.5-yard average per carry. That's not getting it done. I thought the officials, we were worried about the crew. They only called 6 penalties.
Yeah, Jerome Bogar's crew typically is pretty flag happy.
Yeah, and they only called 6 penalties. Now only 1 against Carolina, 5 against the Saints, but it's still they got it right. You remember when the grounding penalty on Taysom, where they were going to place the ball when Sean decided not to go for the long field goal, and he went for the long the punt. And playing the field position game because our defense stepped up, ended up working that regard when all said and done. But time of possession was not boding well for the Saints at the beginning. When I look at this, I mean, it was like, Christian, I wrote this, the Panthers, all of a sudden, we're watching the game, they had 13 minutes back, basically on back-to-back 2 drives. All of a sudden, it's the second quarter, and they scored 10 points. And I go, well, man, if our defense don't play great, we're not going to freaking win. Our defense has to play great. But we end up coming back. The time of possession, it was 50-50. They had the ball 30 and a half minutes. We had it 29 and a half. So we really played catch up in that regard. But it was like almost the watch, okay? You're in the watchtower, and you see, when is this going to occur? Okay, so when are we going to finally score a touchdown? This is the NFL. You can score a touchdown if you want to. It sounds like... you
don't get penalized for it.
Yeah, you don't get penalized for it. Well, I don't know if I've ever witnessed this. We kicked 8 straight field goals until we finally got a touchdown. So we scored 24 points before we actually scored a touchdown in the 12th quarter. So it took us 3 games. It's amazing we're still in the playoff hunt, but it is what it is. We are. And Christian, like I said earlier, I mean, I don't know any rhyme or reason behind this when you think about it. It is when you think they're going to win, they don't win. And then, okay, look, Tampa Bay twice, Green Bay. Look how we won those games. Then you lose to the Giants and Falcons. I don't know. I would not be surprised if we lay an egg in Atlanta, and I'd not be surprised if we win. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
They're kind of unpredictable.
They're unpredictable, and looking at that, I know you got to score points to win. You're not going to win too many games, 18-10. The bottom line, like look at Callaway. Callaway, I don't understand Callaway. It's a lack of concentration. I think you asked Zeus that. It's a lack of concentration because how can you make the difficult catch and then you miss the easy catches? It's a lack of concentration. He had 3 drops. He was targeted 10 times. Taysom's looking for him. He had 6 catches, 97 yards. If he just catches the ball, this would have been his second game over 100 yards receiving. Now, Alvin Kamara, but it didn't look like, man, Alvin Kamara type day. But Christian, I think I always say this, he needs to be about 120 plus as a pass receiving running back and running back. Well, he hit the century mark. He got to 100. It wasn't like what we witnessed against the Buccaneers and what happened last week where Kamara was not a factor. And even in the running game wasn't a factor. He had 13 carries. He averaged 2.5 yards a carry. He had 5 catches for 68 yards. He had that long gain of 29. Then we all know he had the touchdown. But he ended up with 100 yards total. But looking at sacking Sam Darnold 7 times, I think we took advantage of that. How can you not give a game ball to the veteran, Cam Jordan? Not only Christian, now this is unusual because he's not a linebacker, considering not only did he lead the team in sacks and quarterback hurries and tackle for loss, he led the team in tackles. Usually you don't see a defensive end leading the team in tackles. Now, Kwon Alexander was tied with him. They both had 6 unassisted and 8 total. And but if you look, quarterback hurries, tackle for loss, sacks, Cam Jordan, number 1. Looking at CD Deuce, he ended up having a sack also. Then he had 2 quarterback hurries tied with Kwon Alexander in that area. Tackle for loss, interception, and the pass defended. But this is a game you had to win to give yourself hope and being in the hunt. I don't know if we could do anything, even if we make the postseason, but hey, it just shows you how hard it is to win in the NFL. The Saints coming away with a win, 18-10. I don't know. You don't get any style points. You might say it's an ugly win, but they didn't lose. What I was worried about was, how in the hell we can't make the damn extra point? Where if it's 19-10, maybe they have no chance of coming back. I still think it's the 2021 year, even though we're in 2022. Who knows what's going to happen as far as the weirdness with this team. But the bottom line, the Saints come out on top, and they're still on the hunt. But the Saints beat Atlanta. I'm telling you, that they have a good chance of still being in the postseason.